Hi, this is Helen Sanderson. I was asked a couple of weeks ago by a colleague who's taking over a new provider organisation how she could start introducing person-centred practices when they've not got any history at all of introducing them at the moment. So we started by getting a really clear understanding about what she thought they needed to deliver, and she was really clear that it needed to be delivering person-centred outcomes for people in their lives, being able to demonstrate personalisation, so people having as much choice and control as possible, and also obviously delivering the Care Act as well. Of course, like many organisations, she had practically zero training budget, so we looked at what her managers could do and her quality team could do in that context. So let's start with the managers. So the first thing we'd do is get an understanding of where managers are starting from. And one of the ways of doing that is to use Progress for Providers. Now, this is a free self-assessment. It's got its own website, progressforproviders.org. But that would give her an understanding of where managers saw themselves, and managers could set their own targets. So one of the things that the quality team will be doing is gathering that data together to see both where the organisation was already strong and what their primary and most pressing needs for development were. So if the organisation could invest in e-learning packages for all of its staff, here's how they could make sure that this was implemented. And we've done it in quarters, so that each quarter in the organisation has a strong focus that relates back to the outcomes that they want to deliver, which is person-centred outcomes, choice and control for people in the context of the Care Act. So in quarter one, they wanted to make sure that all staff have got one-page profiles and everybody's comfortable with the person-centred thinking tool using Working Not Working. And the reason for starting for staff is you can't expect colleagues to work in a person-centred way unless they're being supported in a person-centred way as well. And it's also a way of really making sure the staff are connected, know each other well, and therefore provides a foundation for great person-centred support. We also know that studies on staff retention and even happiness means that we need to know each other as individuals, know what matters to each other and what good support looks like. So the focus throughout the whole of the organisation, including the leadership team, would be all staff having one-page profiles and everyone comfortable using Working Not Working. And that would have implications on the targets that the quality team would be supporting and enabling their colleagues to have. So they'd be looking at 100% of staff having one-page profiles within 4 weeks of starting the organisation, and 100% of teams having a one-page team profile. And a one-page team profile is a way of taking information from one-page profiles, putting it together onto one page, so the team feels like it's got a shared sense of identity and communicate to other teams what matters to them as a team, as well as how to support them well. One of the ways that we'll see when the managers have achieved this is for managers to have one-page profiles, their one-page profiles at the end of their email signatures. And the other role for the quality team in the first quarter is to review the paperwork around person-centred reviews and make sure that's as streamlined and person-centred as possible to help prepare for the next quarter's focus. So one of the things that's on offer to organisations that have bought and invested in the e-learning packages is they get free access to something called Team 15. And what that means is that for 15 minutes in a team meeting, you get some video and exercise, everything you need to focus on supporting your colleagues to put into practice what they've learned in the e-learning. So we're assuming in this organisation that in a quarter they could have at least 3 team meetings. So the expectation of managers in quarter one is they do the 2 exercises around one-page profiles from Team 15 and they use Working Not Working in Team 15. So therefore at the end of the quarter all staff will have used their e-learning and it will have been embedded in their day-to-day practice through using Team 15 in their team meetings. In addition to that, the managers would have a bespoke webinar on how to use one-page profiles within their team to get happier staff and focused staff and make sure that you're working to staff strengths and supporting them individually. So at the end of quarter one, we're hoping that most staff will have a one-page profile, that managers know how to make sure they're used in practice with their staff, and that staff feel comfortable using one-page profiles and Working Not Working. Then if we move to quarter two, The focus here is starting to move towards clear outcomes for individuals, knowing what matters to them through one-page profiles, staff being really clear about their roles and responsibilities in delivering people's outcomes. So we'd be asking staff to go back to their e-learning again and re-look at Perfect Week and the Donut, which are two of the person-centred thinking tools to help deliver that. We'd also provide additional e-learning for the managers on person-centred reviews. Now, the Team 15 that we'd recommend for Q2 for those 3 meetings are looking at the donut, so the staff are really clear what their roles and responsibilities are in delivering person-centred services and personalisation. Perfect Week, so we can go from the outcomes that people want to achieve to how they want their weeks to look, and therefore people having maximum choice and control in their lives. And also making sure people are really clear about what outcomes are, because there's lots of confusion about what outcomes look like. In Q2, the manager's webinar will be getting started with person-centred reviews to deliver great outcomes and the perfect week as well. So the target for the quality team would be 50% of people supported to have one-page profiles, and one-page profiles are generated really easily through person-centred reviews. So actually we want 50% of people to have a person-centred review, and a person-centred review should therefore lead to specific outcomes as required by the Care Act and the person's perfect week as well. So I hope this is the beginning of an example to demonstrate that through just e-learning and Team 15 and webinars, a provider organisation could have a whole organisational approach to delivering outcomes and personalisation in the context of the Care Act by having themed quarters and linking that to quality expectations as well to help staff deliver personalisation and enable people to have person-centred outcomes. Thank you.